Hello, YouTube. Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Witch, and Sekhmet the Cat, and Apollo the Cat. Sister, brother, littermates. Look how much smaller Sekhmet is, and look how big Mr. Apollo is. So it is my pleasure to bring to you my overview of Llewellyn's 2026 tarot calendar. I actually received it, was it yesterday or today? Today. Yes, I received it today. Today is Tuesday, September 16th, 2025. Llewellyn's annuals are the ones that are published every year, and usually they're published in either July or August. So let me take this out and let me show you the interesting part of this particular calendar. I'm going to have Drake do a close-up. New. You have a seal. And look at how it's like an envelope. It's very cool. I'm like, I almost don't want to rip this because, you know. Oh, good. Look at that. All right, so for those of you who are new to my YouTube channel, when I receive the calendars for the following year, I do an overview. Basically, I'll say what the tarot card is that's being focused on in that particular month, if there's a spread, if there's no spread, that kind of thing. Oh, and of course, the name of the tarot deck. So here we go. Oh, actually, this is the front of the calendar. This is the back of the calendar. Okay, now here we go. So, for January 2026, we have the Wheel of Fortune from the Tarot of the Witch's Garden, which I was actually drawn to, and of course, I'm loving this satyr who is in front of this black cat. Looks like a black cat to me. And there is a fox, and there is an owl, and there is a spread. It's called the Wheel of Destiny spread. This is a 9-card spread. I don't think Llewellyn's ever had more than a 5 or 6 card spread in their spreads. That is really wild. I am digging this. I'm very much digging this. All right, so yes. So January 2026, the Wheel of Fortune card from the Tarot of the Witch's Garden, the Wheel of Destiny spread, which is a 9-card spread. And for the record, when I do the individual videos, I do show the cards. I just want to keep this video a little on the shorter side. Okay, so we have for February 2026, the Two of Cups from the Unbridled Spirit Tarot. We have an article called Love is a Many Splendored Thing. We have another article called Don't Assume. We have the focus on the lion-headed caduceus, and there is no spread. Okay, so, ooh, I love this. So from March 2026, we have the Temperance card from the Rider-Waite-Smith. Isn't that right, Apollo? We have the Head, Heart, and Hands spread, which is a 9-card spread. We have an article called Mixing the Liquids, and that is for March 2026. And then for April 2026, we have the focus of the 9 of Pentacles from the Fairy Wheel Tarot. We have an article called Tea and Tarot. I know exactly who would benefit, who would especially enjoy that particular article. And she knows I know who she is too. We also have a section called Clover Hedge, which is the focus of the symbol that's being discussed in this entry. That's part of the card. And that is April 2026. And then for May 2026, we have the Two of Swords from the Egyptian Art Nouveau Tarot, which I must admit I'm already intrigued. I'm already like, I want this deck. We have an article called Selecting the Path. We have the blurb about the waxing moon symbol on the card. And we have a spread called the Crossroads spread, which is not a 9-card spread. It is a 6-card spread. And that is May of 2026. And then for June of 2026, we have the Queen of Wands from the Good Fortune Tarot. We have no spread. We have one of my favorite symbols and one of my favorite images and one of my favorite creatures, who's no longer on my chair, a black cat. We have another blurb that focuses on another symbol, namely the Tree of Life, which the Queen of Wands in the Good Fortune Tarot is holding. And then we have an article called Confidence for Cartomancers. I'm looking forward to that article. And then for July 2026, we have the Two of Branches from a deck that I have, the Enchanted Forest Felines Tarot. And look, we have this feline who is not very enchanted and not a forest feline, but still a feline nonetheless. We have a focus on the globe, which is one of the symbols in the card, and we have a spread. And guess what? I can use my copy of the Enchanted Forest Felines Tarot for this spread for July 2026. I'm so happy about this, let me tell you. It is called the Animal Companion Spread. And then for August, for August 2026, we have the Ten of Waters, more commonly known as the Ten of Cups, from the Witch Sister Tarot. I must tell you, the Witch Sister Tarot, I was kind of like, but I'm warming up to it. You know, I'm not one of those people that everybody has to look pretty and flawless and like a model in a tarot deck and, you know, a skinny bitch. But, you know, I really dig that, you know, she does not look like she's barely 18, number one. I love that she has silver gray hair. I love the mist rising from the cauldron in front of her. So we have no spread. We have an article called Developing Inner Vision, which I'm very much looking forward to. We have another article called Keeping Ego in Check. And we have a blurb called Steam and Mist, because that is one of the main symbols on this card from this deck. Oh, and appropriately, the goddess depicted is Cerridwen, the Welsh goddess of transformation and transmutation. I have a soft spot for Cerridwen. Not my primary, secondary, or even tertiary pantheon, but I have a lot of reverence for the Welsh deities, especially Cerridwen, and of course, Rhiannon, for obvious reasons. Okay, so for September 2026, we have the Five of Swords from the Shadowscapes Tarot, another deck that I already own. We have Hello Bast. Look at this. We have Apollo and Bast. Now here's a fun fact. So Bast, the cat, is Drake's primary feline familiar, and Apollo is Drake's secondary feline familiar. And again, for those of you who are new to my YouTube channel, Drake is more commonly known as my awesome audiovisual person for my YouTube videos. He's the one that does the rendering, the editing, the filming, and he is invaluable to yours truly. So we have the focus on the bound weapon symbol. We have an article called Following Through, and we have a spread. We have the Conflict Resolution Spread, which is a 5-card spread. I have said in many a video for these calendars that I love 5-card spreads, because if you take the major arcana and the 4 suits of the minor arcana and add them together, you have 5 suits. So this is one of those spreads that you can, if you were so inclined or intuitively guided and led, separate the suits and then cast the cards individually like that. Okay, for October 2026, we have the Death card from the Dark Wood Tarot. We have no spread. We have focus on the child symbol and the hourglass symbol. We also have an article called A Ritual for the Beloved Dead, which talks about, appropriately, All Hallows Eve, also known as Halloween, also known as Samhain, also known as Samhain. And then, for November 2026, we have the Seven of Earth from the Dreams of Gaia Tarot. And we have the Chakra Analysis Spread. Now, here's what's so funny about this. So first of all, I have somebody who has been more than a client to me for several years. She is a close friend. She's a confidant. She's an integral part of my support structure. She did a lot of research on the hospital where I needed to be several years ago in 2019. She has referred clients to me. She has availed herself of pretty much everything that I offer, from readings to goddess energy healing treatments to magical spell casting sessions. She is an invaluable part of my life, and I adore her so much. So I now own all of Raven Phelan's decks, her 3 oracle card decks and her tarot deck. And the interesting thing is that even though I purchased the decks, I refer to them as this person's decks. Like, let's say her name is Katie, which is not, by the way, but let's say, I call these decks Katie's decks because I almost always use them with this individual, who, again, is more than a client. She's a friend, she's a confidant, etc. But it is so hilarious to me because I'm the one that spent the money on the decks, and the shipping and handling and all this other stuff, but she gets exclusive use of them through me. Now, the funny thing is, I have used the Dreams of Gaia Tarot with one other person, and that was prior to 2018. In fact, I think it was sometime between 2015 and 2017, to be precise, if I had to give you a time range. And I love how this is not the only card in this deck that depicts the chakras very clearly delineated. So, of course, I will be able to use this deck for this spread, and I'm very excited about that. And then for December 2026, we have the Sun card from the Yuletide Tarot. We have a focus on the festive feast, and we have another 5-card spread called the Solstice Spread. And yes, some of you know I have owned this tarot deck since just before or just after it was published. And yes, I will be using it for readings at the upcoming Moon, Serpent, and Bone 7th Annual Yule Night Market, so it will be available for readings. But here's the interesting thing. It is called the Solstice Spread, is in the winter solstice for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere, specifically. But it is fascinating to me. This is now the third entry in this calendar that has a spread featuring a card from the deck that I already own. I cannot tell you how long I have wanted to have that kind of a situation where it's like, okay, the decks that I have, because there was a spread that I did for this year's Llewellyn's Tarot calendar that had the deck. The deck was featured on that month, but there was no spread. And I'm like, but shit, I have that deck. So this makes me so happy. And really, I think in a lot of ways, Llewellyn Publications and Charles Harrington outdid themselves with the creation and the publication. Hello, Sekhmet. Look at all these cats coming in. Look at this. Sekhmet is now in front of me and not above and behind me. Hello, little cutie. I love you. I'm so happy you came back. She's freaking out because of my voice. So yeah, I'm just like so excited about this. I'm really excited about this. And then after December, we have about the author, the featured cards. We have the first 4 months of 2027. We have the moon phases. We also have some decks, and we have some books. And of course, I have to mention these two books because obviously. The Psychic Art of Tarot, Matt Oren's newest book, which is fabulous. I mean, it glows. When I first saw the cover, it glows. I'm looking at an image of the cover, it still glows to me. And, you know, Matt Oren is one of the few people that I happily follow on Instagram. And I also follow him on Blue Sky. And I will tell you, I'm very, very picky about who I follow on social media. And I also follow the other 3 Forlocks. Although I don't remember if Matt Oren's husband is Chaz Bogan or Devin Hunter. I want to say it's Devin Hunter. And if you know, let me know, because I don't want to ask Matt, hey, which one is your husband? You know? I mean, if I had to, I would, but if you happen to know, let me know in the comments, please. Thank you. And then, of course, back of the cover, and that's all she wrote, everybody. So I want to absolutely thank Llewellyn Publications for publishing yet another edition of their Llewellyn's Tarot Calendar. And of course, I'm going to take this time to say, hey, this is the one and only tarot-themed annual published by Llewellyn Publications. And of all of the metaphysical publishing houses, this is the only one. Llewellyn Publications is the only one that publishes it. Schiffer doesn't, Red Wheel Weiser doesn't, Los Scarabeo doesn't, Rockpool Publishing doesn't, Blue Angel Gallery doesn't. This is the only metaphysical publishing house that publishes a tarot-themed annual. And if I am not mistaken, we are getting close to 10 years of this deck being published, because the very first one was the 2018 calendar. This is the 2026 calendar. The 2018 calendar was published in either July or August of 2017. So 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, and 2026. So we're getting close to a full decade of publishing these tarot calendars, and I am so thankful. I refuse to throw them away, much to the displeasure of my life partner. He's like, you can scan them and put them in your computer. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that, because I want to keep them, you know? They will be buried with me. Yes, they will. In my tomb. Yes, I love them that much. Don't judge me. Anyway, so thank you to Llewellyn Publications for continuing to publish their Llewellyn's Tarot Calendars, their annual Llewellyn's Tarot Calendars. Thank you to Charles Harrington for continuing to write the insights, spreads, and tips. Thank you to the Barbara Moore for having started writing the insights, spreads, and tips. Thank you to everybody who buys this calendar, who gives this calendar as a gift, who spreads the word about this calendar on social media and off. And I hope I see more people doing more YouTube videos of this calendar, because... are you okay, Drake? Okay. Are you sure? Mm-hmm. Okay. You had a strange look on your face. I wasn't sure what that was about. Okay. But I just wanted to check you're okay. Okay. So yeah, please. I want to see more people doing videos of their own about this. I've only found one. Still, I've only found one. I'm like, come on, you know? And if you have done a video, include the link in the comments. I would love to see them. And of course, to all of you in YouTube land, thank you so much for all the likes, all the comments, all the shares, all the subscriptions to my YouTube channel, and an extra big and beautiful and bountiful thank you to those of you who have already scheduled your sessions, and those of you who have already hired me to be at your events. Stay in tune with your intuition. Stay safe, stay well, stay hydrated, stay away from Nazis and fascists and toxic bitches and toxic witches and people that bring you down and suck your life force energy, and spend time with the animals you love and adore, no matter how cute, no matter how creepy, no matter what they look like. And don't you scratch me. Don't scratch me. because that will not be nice. And I love you. Don't scratch me. What are you doing? Don't scratch me. Don't scratch me. Don't bite me either, little boy. Anyway, and stay tuned for the next video. You gonna bite me? Oh no, no, don't bite me.